Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with seared halibut with hot bacon and Roma bean relish. Sounds weird, doesn't it? It is weird. I have no idea where I got the idea for this, but it just sort of came together because that's what I had on hand, which is how a lot of my stuff comes together. So here's what I did. I took some Roma beans, raw Roma beans, not blanched. You could do this with regular green beans, but I like the flat shape of the Roma, and I really like the flavor. By the way, I'm testing a new knife. You're always emailing me. What knife is that you're using? That is a New West knife, which was sent to me to test. So if you want to read about that on the post, it'll be there. Anyway, I sliced my green beans, well, sort of like that. What's that, 1/8 of an inch? Fairly thin. We're not going to blanch these. We're going to cook them raw right in the pan with our bacon. Okay, so slice those up, set it aside. I'm going to put my bacon in a cold saute pan, turn it on medium, and start cooking it. Now what I want to gauge here, I want the bacon to go about halfway because I want to add my beans and cook them in the bacon fat. And if I cook my bacon too far, it's going to get overdone by the time the beans are cooked. So I cook this, well, you'll see. It kind of looks like that. So they're cooked, but they're not really getting crispy yet. At that point, I'm going to add my sliced green beans, those Roma beans. So once the beans went in, put a little pinch of salt in, and we're going to cook those until just almost tender. The great thing about heat is it stays hot. So when we take these beans out, they're going to cook a little more, especially since they're so small. You're just going to have to test one. There's really not a specific time I can give you. And at this point, I was thinking, that tastes good and just about almost tender. By the way, I always get emails, how come you never flip the pan? You're always using a spatula. That's just because I'm filming. I don't need to show off. I know how to flip. Look, see, flipping. By the way, Food Network, if you're watching this one, see, a little flip in action. I'm going to remove those to a bowl. The bacon fat is going to act as part of the sauce, almost like a warm bacon dressing. We're going to use the bacon fat as the oil, and we're going to put some lemon juice in this later. But if I don't want all that fat, we'll just leave it at the bottom of the bowl. So you don't really have to drain this. Just dump it right in. There's our 2 beautiful halibut steaks. All right, we're going to salt and pepper that on both sides. So I have a little bit of bacon fat still left in the pan. I'm going to turn the heat up to medium-high. As soon as I see those first wisps of smoke, I'm going to put in my fish. And we're going to sear that for about 4 minutes per side. Again, don't go by my times. All right, that's just a guess. I don't know how thick your fish is going to be. These were almost 1 inch thick. All right, so these took about 4 minutes aside. You're going to see when I turn this, you want to get a nice sear. Now, one thing I like about halibut steaks is because it's on the bone, it's kind of like its own little doneness indicator. It's going to be just barely firm to the touch, and then right next to that bone, it will still have just the faintest amount of sort of pink opaqueness, and that's just about right. Okay, so it'll just start to pull away from that bone. All right, so we're going to take that off to a plate. By the way, I switched here midstream to my large Mario Batali rubber spatula to get the other one out. I'm going to turn the heat off. Pan's hot. Turn the heat off, put just a tiny splash of water, like, I don't know, a tablespoon, just to take most of the heat out. I just want to warm the beans. They're already cooked. The bacon is already crisp. I just want to introduce some fresh lemon juice into that bacon fat. All right, at this point, you want to taste and adjust. A little salt, a little pepper. You want to put some cayenne in there? You know I'm down with that. But I didn't. I'm going to show you why when I serve. All right, to plate up, fish down, warm plate, some of that bean and bacon relish over the top, and on the side, a little design of sriracha hot sauce. So you might see those plates on TV and they got the little like swirls and drizzles and designs on them. That's not always for show. The thought behind that is if someone wants some of that whatever, they can stick their fork in it and have a little bit of sauce, or they could just leave it alone and not spice it up, or they could put a lot. So it's up to them. It might seem weird to like use a bean like a sauce, but trust me, it works. It's super tasty, incredibly easy. Smokiness from the bacon, just always a natural with beans. Let me dig in here. Oh man, so moist, so delicious. And by the way, fish is like the easiest thing to cook ever. So if you're afraid of cooking fish, I don't know why, give it a try. The more you cook it, the better you'll get. That's how you learn. All right, so get some halibut, get a few Roma beans. You probably already got bacon in the fridge, and give this super easy meal a try. Anyway, all the ingredients are on the site, so go check it out. And as always, enjoy.